Like Othello before me, except he is me and I he. All the great leaders of our kind. And I witnessed them during their time on earth and watched all the people that followed and shook my head at all those that ignored me. These great men stand before me now, cognate to a life. I can see such men as Benjamin Banneker, mathematician, inventor, surveyor, philosopher, and abolitionist. In front of him, I saw William Du Bois, standing next to Booker T. Washington. At the back, mine eyes focused on a strange-looking man. When I had stared for too long, he called Jean DeSable, founder of Chicago, Illinois, 1774. This was a moment in love. For sitting not 10 meters away was Edmonia Lewis, 1845 to 1890, sculpting with a clay and a piece at her feet named Forever Free. I heard music, and at my left ear twitched. I turned, and I saw in that direction. To my delight, it was Samuel Coleridge Taylor playing the Hiawatha, and George Baldwin Bridgewater accompanying him on violin. Adjacent, Duke Ellington sat playing, simply vivacious. People, all Moors, so many stood before me in their ghostly form. Langston Hughes stepped forward and recited his poem to me. I have known rivers. I've known rivers ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep in my ears. And then he stepped back. As I swung my head to and fro, the greatness kindled my soul. Every great Moor, from Paul Robeson to James Baldwin to Elaine Locke, a plump man stepped forward and announced, if you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you start. He held a model in his hand of the Black Star Line, one of a fleet of steamships. I remember the time he convinced his people to board them. Then I recognized a controversial man, with glasses and a goatee beard, and another beside him. The three of them stepped forward, and I recognized them as Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X. I said, how? And they said, we don't know. And then a tear became visible in all our eyes. And we looked at each other and said, too much pain. Too much pain. Why has man done this to us? Why is man so inhumane? As I looked these men up and down, and they did the same, I had a picture of in my own mind of people dismissing the anger and pain, waving the hurt away. Mr. King stepped onto a box and said, if man doesn't put an end to war, war will put an end to mankind. My chest felt tight. I turned back as if looking in the direction of my maker, and I looked deep into myself. Then Malcolm X stepped forward and said, I would welcome the opportunity to defend anything I said to any man, anytime, anywhere. Then again I saw more figures emerging. From Arthur Ashe to Haile Selassie, Othello appeared at my left side and said, I have been speaking with Dr. King. I don't fear anyone. I nodded my head. Yes, never fear any man. And for the last time, I was allowed to see again. First the dead, before their resurrection. The murdered, they numbered like grains of sand. Faces of slaves, faces of modern leaders, faces of pain, faces of people, just ordinary people. The number of faces alone was incredible. Soldiers, sailors, and they all looked like angels, and all looked like me, all the same shade as me, all this glorious shade. shout for life. A paralyzed donkey was passing by, kicked the blind man in his eye, kicked him through a 9-inch wall, and drowned him in a dry foot pan. I looked and received instruction. With a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hand to sleep. And thy poverty will come as a robber. And I want as an armed man. Since that time, our master promised to set us free at his death, at which time we expected to obtain our freedom. And our master, old Mr. John Enders, has died very near 2 years old. At which time, our freedom was talked about by white gentlemen of this city. And at this time, young Mr. John Enders, son of the deceased, said to us, "Be not troubled, for he would do all for us that his father has said in his will," and that we were then working for ourselves. And since that time, we have been kept here in bondage and hired out by the year. I do not get the money that we hire out for, and we have said and done everything in our power to get our rights according to the will of old master, but being slaves, we has not obtained it as yet. And this is the reason you has not heard from us, and the reason why we are kept so long from the home of our forefathers in Africa. There is now about 118 in all who has been left free, and we humbly beg you to help us out if you can. If you can undertake for us and advocate our cause, we shall be very glad for you to do so. Or if you can give us any advice or information how we should act in regard to this matter, it will be thankfully received, and you will be rewarded. We have made some 2 or 3 attempts by lawyers to get a copy of the will, but they have deceived us and got our money. And we are left to grope our way in bondage, far from Africa, the home of our forefathers. Our desire for going to Liberia was on the increase up to the last July 19th, and they are still on the increase up to this present moment. It was on the 18th of last July that a number of us went to the courthouse to the clerk's office to hear the will of our master read. But the officers sent us away with an admonition to be still on that subject. For we cannot be still until we get home to Africa. Out of 118 slaves, there is some 45 or 50 of them who can read, and some 6 or 7 who can read and write, and one is a very good preacher, and most of us have 3 wives with many 4 children. Dear sir, you will please
Send us as many pamphlets as you can spare, I present. And when you answer this, you will then write us what the pamphlets will cost us. The whole of this matter to some extent has gotten out in the public, and if you wish to see some of the newspapers of last July 19th and 20 dates, we will try to send you some as soon as they are moved. Our bright lawyers got some 2 or 3 copy of us, and one of them seemed to contradict the other, which lead us to think more strongly that we were set free by our good old master, Mr. John Huggins. I will now close my remarks by requesting you give us an answer as soon as you can. Yours most truly, John Scott.
They won't even reply! Oh, Lord, have mercy. See my desperation. Alas, was I born for this, to wear this slavish chain, deprived of all created bliss through hardship, toil, and pain. How long have I in bondage laid and languished to be free? Oh Lord, and must I still complain, deprived of liberty? Oh heaven, is there no relief this side the silent grave to soothe the pain, quell the grief and anguish of the slave? Oh liberty, that cheerful sound roll through my ravaged ears. Come, let my griefs and joys be drowned, and drive away my fears. Say unto foul oppression cease, ye tyrants rage no more, and let my griefs and joys be drowned, and drive away my fears. Soar on the pinions of that dove that long hath cooed for thee, and breathe this note through Africa's grave, the sound of liberty. O liberty, thou golden prize, so often sought by blood, we crave thy sacred sun to rise, gift of nature's God. Healing upon thy breast, language to inspire, like a swan to her nest, unto thy fly. Oh, heavenly balm, unto thy boughs we fly, and in thy shade the storm shall calm, with songs of liberty. Release me. It was a clear day, the day I could never forget. All our people had gone out to their work as usual, and only I and my sister were left to mind the house, when all of a sudden, 3 men leapt over our walls and placed their hands over our mouths before we knew what was happening. Our screams were stopped by a sequence of rough hands. We were separated. My heart fell to the lowest point of my body. These men, oh, pale and dirty in color, spat on me and ripped away my garment. Next, they placed me in a coffin along with 20 or 30 other slaves, including women and children. Next, they proceeded to whip me every 30 steps. Next, trip on a large ship with some of my own people, even my own people guiding the slave traders on the shore. We were packed in that ship. There my eyes witnessed things I would cause the heart to stop. I prayed mine would. Women raped, men raped. Diseases. And in the middle of the crossing, I was kept chained to a man that was dead for 3 days until they tossed him into the sea along with one that was still alive. Unfed and unwashed for days. Arriving at the Atlantic coast, my eyes witnessed gangs of faces, their complexions too different from ours, their long hair and the language they spoke. I prayed to the ancestors. I would die soon if they would not give me strength to rise above it. And I knew that from now on, seeing my people in a strange country from which only an exodus, a return in mind and body, physically or mentally, to that place we should go before it's too
When first I heard the cha-cha, it thrilled me to the bone. Then I thought that sweet Jamaica should have a cha-cha for its own. Well, here it is, cha-cha-cha. This is getting so cha-cha-cha.
It was 59 when I come to England. This about mother country. I had left me wife and child behind. I came at an invitation. And as we had learned so much about England at school, and my older brother had served in the armed forces during the Second World War, I was happy and excited to come to England and look for work. It was all the craze. Palisados Airport, Jamaica. My father buy the ticket. And arriving in London, my first thoughts when I did see a building with smoke coming out the top was, what a lot of factories there are. It was later that I did find out it was the houses the people them live in. Anyway, my brother did meet me and he did take me up a road. Duravan Road, Shepherd's Bush. Where the houses, it all the same. This is it, he said. And when I look around me, I didn't have enough room to swing a cat, as the English said. One small room in which we had to cook, eat, sleep, wash, all in the same room for £2 a week. I did wonder then, why did I leave home? I remember my first morning in England. The cold waked me right up out of my sleep. I saw my brother lit the paraffin heater, but I didn't like the smell. So I decided I'd go down the exchange to see what that happened. And I'm a skilled cabinet maker. And my first job was doing some repairs on a building along Whitehall. But my hand was so cold, I couldn't hold the hammer. So I lit a fire, because I can't get warm. Well, as soon as my boss see that, he gave me my cash. I lasted 1 day. Well, this is it. The mother country got me in all kind of trouble. I did write to my wife and asked her to come and bring the child. At first she didn't want to. She had heard about England stories, you know. But I had found a job that wasn't so cold and was sending money home. So eventually she come and bring the child, who had grown so big, and her sister, who was not yet married. We all stay in the same room.
Jamaica place, it was difficult because most of the houses had signs in them saying, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. My wife complained non-stop. You see, she had had a good job back in Jamaica working as a teacher, but nobody wanted to know she's a teacher here. Well, it's different here, her friends tell her, and it was. During my first years in life, I was insulted by the white people. Then they'd ask me to do everything from show them me tail to telling them what it was like living in a house as compared to a tree. But I get used to it. Even the techie boys, them was the skinheads of the 50s. I did have a run-in with one or two of them. After about 2 years, my wife had had enough. She was quite a proud woman. She said she wasn't going to work in a laundry or catering or auxiliary when she's a qualified teacher. I suppose she was right. She's a very clever woman. That's why I did marry her. Anyway, she did left me and take a child. I tried to be strong. She didn't know how much I didn't want her to go, but she did. You see, I had made a decision to come to England and I thought I should stay a bit longer. I'll never forget what she said. She said, from the time I is a qualified teacher and these white people don't want me to teach them anything, like they know everything, and then yet them still come asking me for my tail. And she said that black people here going to be lost and only a exodus, a return in mind and body, physically or mentally, to that place all black people will have to go. After she did leave me, I spent a lot more time with my brother, but he died not long after. I did think about going home sometime, but I never get to it. I did start a club with some of my friends, so we could have some sort of community. I read a lot, and within about 10 years, I became foreman at my firm, the first black foreman, and later union representative. Occasionally, my wife would write with a picture of the child, each time a little bigger. She had still not married yet, because we had still not got divorced. I admire her so much, but I understand. You see, I blame England for a lot of things, but then I blame myself as well. You see, when I look at it, it's my choice. But when I look again, I didn't have much choice. I think for a time my people lost all sorts of sense of themselves. I mean, we did. And when we realized we didn't know what to do, then they trap us. So I think the only thing we could hold on to was identity, or accent, or our memory. Just like my wife said, that up to our excellence, and turning mind and body, physically or mentally, to that place all black people will have to go. You see, we got to give with children a good foundation. Meantime, we whoop the English at cricket as well. We never miss a match. Cricket. Yeah. England,
a cricket match. And all he run them, West Indies just a snatch. West Indies put 2 Englishmen in cricket in hospital. The other day, Winston Davis struck him ball and down Paul Terry fall. Me say, Paul Terry fall down on the ground. Because if them can't get the wicket, them get them hand instead. Because West Indies just a play dread. West Indies like to tease so that England get pleased. Then them start to play rough and them score just get enough. England thinks that through them black, West Indies are going to play slack. Marshall finger did bro, but him still lick the ball. Him lick it the ball for 4, and he lick it for more and more. But me can't understand how England so soft and play games so rough. Cheers. A few eggs, guineas, condensed milk, and don't forget the nutmeg. You see, you've got to be strong. Don't let nobody pull you down. And I know it's a lot of confusion, but I held on to my identity. And I know the kids have it hard with all this tokenism and two-faced attitude, but I know the white man. I watch him carefully because I know he's watching me. See, I learned a lot. And if I could live again in a younger body, I tell you the progress would be twice as fast. You see, it's about the mind and realization that an exodus, a return in mind and body, physically or mentally, to that place or that people have. They fooled me mother. They fooled me father. They said, come to the mother country. We're a commonwealth. Everybody's equal. Well, it's a great thing. The Englishman's not a yardstick by which we measure equality by. As a friend once said, otherwise, we'd be fools. I can't figure it out. You see, I listen to me parents talk about Jamaica all the time, and I wonder what they're doing here. And that leads me on to what the hell am I doing here? Born and bred to rats, only to be told I don't belong. Don't let it get you down, mother says. That's like the Englishman. Give as good as you get, daddy says. So either I chill in the ghetto, feeling sorry for myself, and I got most right, or I act up to the white man. Get a warped education, brainwash, conform, join the game at 2.2, bounty in life, deceiving myself, selling out or selling myself short. Which one? But what if I don't want to do neither? What if all I want to do is sit here and think? Huh? Is this society going to allow me to do that? I don't think so. You see, they taught me about Old King Cole. Mary had a little lamb as fleece was white as snow, and the Black Death and the cotton mills and the Industrial Revolution, but nobody told me about slavery. They admitted the blood's not on my hands. My mother taught me that everybody was equal to love everyone and to say me prayers and go to Sunday school, while their mothers were telling them not to go near us. Oh, I don't know why. They swing from trees or something. They might as well be saying, listen son, listen daughter, I don't know what's wrong with them, but don't go near them. And meanwhile, I'm going to think of the stupidest thing I can. They told us we made no valuable contribution to this old soul civilized world. They told us we were running around naked when they found us. They didn't find us. They came